right, you know what the sound of that music means? It's the start of another Malarkey Hour. It's your host, Matt, and my co-host, John. How's it going, sir?
I'm okay. What's going on?
You ready for the big game tomorrow?
The Spurs playing?
Spurs are playing.
Who is playing? Was it Steelers, Cowboys? Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready for the Super Bowl? This is we're recording this on Saturday night, the night before the Super Bowl. It's gonna be Super Bowl 48.
Matt's gonna guarantee that his pick is right against the spread, and he's gonna reimburse anybody who bets any amount.
Always.
What do we got?
All right, so we got Super Bowl 48. We got the NFC champion Seattle Seahawks going against the AFC champion Denver Broncos at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Exciting.
Where the hell's that?
New Jersey.
East Rutherford. Okay, sounds familiar.
You never been to East Rutherford?
I
never
taken many vacations in East Rutherford. Yes.
Beautiful East Coast.
Yep. Well, what's going on?
All right, so we got the Seahawks. This is gonna be their second Super Bowl appearance in team history. They lost their first Super Bowl 40, or it was like to be called extra large, in 2006 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, 21-10. They were obviously a lot of people think they were robbed that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be the QB Russell Wilson's first Super Bowl start and appearance. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of pressure on him.
Not really.
How do you think he's gonna handle that?
He's gonna run.
For those of you who, that's actually my brother-in-law here. Who do you like?
Who I like? The Cowboys.
He thinks the Cowboys are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Long shot. They're a long shot, but you know.
But I'll still I'm gonna take that bet from him. So we'll see how that turns out.
All right. So you
like Denver, right?
Yeah.
Pick the final score.
54-10.
Oh, my brother-in-law is very, very wrong. But he says Denver's gonna win 54-10. No one's scoring 54 points tomorrow.
I'll see.
Yeah.
No one's scoring 54 points.
Well, they're going up against the Denver Broncos. This is the seventh Super Bowl appearance for them in team history. That ties them for second most Super Bowl appearances with New England Patriots. They're behind the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who each have 8.
Doesn't mean they won all of them.
That's just appearances. They just haven't played the game, so. That's
Dan Marino was there, right?
5 of those appearances were with Hall of Famer John Elway, and they won the 2 of them, Super Bowl 32 and Super Bowl 33. And
he was like 90.
Yeah.
Like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
In the 80s?
But he never. Nobody won.
In the 90s?
Yeah, he won. He won in 97, 98. The last 2 years.
He won 2 years in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the kicker missed that shot?
Was that the 80s?
The kicker that missed the field goal shot.
Kicker that missed the field goal shot for who? For Denver? Denver.
The one that went insane and wanted to kill Dan Marino.
Yeah. The what's his name?
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel. Yeah.
Laces out.
Ray Finkel. I actually think that's going to be the difference tomorrow. Is Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel?
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel's the key.
I think it's going to come down to kicking, and I think Ray Finkel pulls it off.
I do too.
Die, Marino, die.
Well, it's going to be Peyton Manning's third Super Bowl appearance. He's won 1 and lost 1. He won Super Bowl 41.
He has less than his brother.
Yeah. And he lost Super Bowl 44?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. About 3 years ago.
Threw a
against the
pick
Saints.
down the touchdown drive to win the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got returned for a
I had
touchdown.
a prop bet that Peyton Manning would throw 0 picks.
That's how you remember
He
it?
threw 1 in the last minute. I remember that game. Yes.
Yeah, so you got an experienced quarterback versus it was his second year, Russell Wilson's second year, so it's pretty impressive that he makes the Super Bowl.
I think that's why everybody's picking Denver.
Think so?
No, it's just because Denver's going to kick their ass.
Apparently, Denver's winning 100-2.
So take the over then on the points.
Apparently, they're going to score 102 points.
They will score a lot.
Well, let's go over some of these points I want to sort of go over. And I'm not saying this is going to win the game, but I think these can sort of decide maybe the outcome of the game. Let's talk about penalties. Did you know 8 of the past 12 Super Bowl winners were flagged for more penalty yards than their opponents?
Well, that favors Seattle.
Like, it's interesting, right? Like, you would think it would be the opposite.
Who the refs want to win the game.
No, but that's interesting, right? Like, you would think it would be the opposite, that the less penalties would guarantee you a win, but it's actually the opposite. The more penalty yards.
Oh, okay. I misheard you.
Yeah. 8 of the last 12 Super Bowl winners were flagged for more penalty yards than their opponents.
Huh.
It's crazy, right? And that's something I wanted to get into. The Seahawks secondary led the lead in pass interference penalties.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like that's something that people don't really talk about. That's an advantage if they don't care about.
They talk about the sacks. I think that's so overrated because you're gonna get more. You're gonna get more sacks. I'll even ask you if you have good corners and you're a passing team, you're gonna get more sacks because it takes you longer to throw the effing ball.
It's just that NFL really sucks now.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore. It's puss ball.
Apparently, it's puss ball.
It is. I mean, you barely breathe on your receiver. And
It's
you're
the
using
NPL.
interference.
But we're all gonna watch
If
the
I'm
puss
a
ball.
quarterback, I would rather take the chance of it getting intercepted, throw it up, fuck it, I might get 50 yards.
You overshoot your receiver on purpose just to try to get the flag.
But that's the thing. Okay. Seattle had the best defense this year, but yet they were flagged for more pass interference than any other team. But let's look into that. If you do it on every play, like you always hear complaints that there's holding on every play, right? You hear a defensive lineman always say there's holding on every play. They just don't call it
5 yards, right?
For what?
Can't you hold for 5 yards?
For hold, yeah. From the line of scrimmage. Yeah.
But also, I mean, if you want, take a look at Seattle's schedule, and they also play in the worst division in the entire NFL.
Well,
and if you want to have them play some real teams, sorry, they really do. What's a good team in the NFC?
Oh,
Give me a good team besides the Niners with Kaepernick. I mean, give me a good team besides them.
well, okay.
Carolina?
They're all right.
We'll talk about their opponent's strength a little bit later. Actually, that's actually a point that I have. Each team's sort of strength.
Honestly, I just flipped a coin. Before we get on the air, I just flipped a coin. I'm going with Seattle.
Let's wait until the end. We'll do our picks again.
I mean, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I haven't flipped a coin yet.
But this is an interesting thing that I was reading on. Like, if there's pass interference, if they just hold the receivers every play, they can't call pass interference on every play. I think that'll be a key in this game. They'll disrupt that Denver receiving core, and I think that'll make a difference. If you mess up their rhythm, it's going to affect their passing game.
Told you my strategy.
It's just hit them.
Okay, if Seattle starts off on defense first,
mm-hmm.
I told you, get 3 different, maybe a safety and a couple of linemen, and you do 3 late hits.
Yeah.
Just as hard as you can for 15-yard penalties. Give up 15, 30, 45 yards right away. It'll rattle them.
Let's get.
No one's getting ejected either. You just hit the shit out of them. Even if it's 5 seconds after the play's called dead, you hit the shit out of Manning 3 times.
Well, let's talk about getting to the quarterback.
You aim for that neck area.
Well, let's get to that. Getting to the quarterback.
Right. Who's got the better neck? That's what it's coming down to tomorrow. I think Russell Wilson
has a much better
neck than Peyton Manning.
Well, let's get to that. Getting to the quarterback. as a strategy. Actually, blitzing.
Overrated stat.
Well, no, this is a stat I looked up. Since 2006, defenses have employed a standard pass rush on nearly 75% of QB dropbacks in the Super Bowl. That means no extra blitzers coming. And the reason for this, bringing 4 or fewer pass rushers nets a sack on 6.1% of dropbacks, nearly double the 3.2 sack rate with when these blitz.
You know, I've been
So this is the reason I wanted to get into this, and this goes into your point about getting to Peyton Manning. That Seattle defense, the reason they're so effective is they don't have to bring extra rushers. You know, they have their cover 3, and you know they can create pressure with just their front 4. And if they could get to Peyton Manning and rattle him, I mean, that's going to make a big difference in that defense getting to that, stopping that offense.
Well, the 2 playoff games that Denver's played, the thing I've been yelling at the freaking TV the whole time is stop blitzing.
Yeah.
Stop sending so many freaking guys.
And Seattle does.
Because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
But Peyton Manning, what y'all forget is he also gets that ball out in about 2-3.
Yeah, well, that's the key. If you blitz.
He's like the fastest quarterback that I've seen get that ball out.
And that's why you don't blitz, because you're not going to get to him.
And even at that, your corners, like what you're saying, yes, they're good. They're good Seattle corners, but I don't really think they've faced a quarterback this. Did they face each other this year?
No, they didn't.
No. Okay, well, I don't think they faced a quarterback.
And we're going to get into their opponents, because actually their opponents' strength wasn't that great, Seattle. And we'll get into how great of an offenses they faced all year.
Yeah, and I've seen Peyton Manning, dude. I mean, I've seen Peyton Manning like get that ball out in about 2-3 seconds, and it's like,
yeah, and he's the best. He's the best in the league. Yeah,
they play good defenses, and how can you defend that? I'm sorry, that's just.
Well, and that's the point I wanted to make. If you blitz less, which Seattle doesn't blitz a lot. You know, they play their cover 3, and the thing that Denver depends a lot on is they depend on short passes, and they depend on the receivers getting those yards after the catch.
Exactly.
And if you're playing cover 3,
they're gonna have some passes batted down, and their punter's finally gonna have to fucking make his money and punt the ball.
And exactly, I think with
you're dreaming, you're living on fantasy island with.
Okay, 2 games with 1 punt.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
I meant with tattoo.
2 games with 1 punt. I can't imagine another game like that.
It's gonna be like that, dude.
We'll see.
It's gonna be. It's not gonna be. Denver's gonna kick ass. Mark my words. Yes, sorry, pardon the French.
That's not French.
They're gonna wipe the floor with Seattle. There's gonna be some turkey served tomorrow. Or what kind of bird are they?
Some of that Seattle turkeys.
Right.
I mean,
deep fried Seahawk.
Oh,
just like Mama serves every Thanksgiving. But like I
eat on Thanksgiving, Seahawks.
Like I do think that it's gonna.
Some Alka-Seltzer.
It's gonna temper Denver's offense a little bit, because they're gonna be able to use their cover 3. They're gonna be able to have extra linebackers to cover those tight ends that Peyton Manning loves to throw to. I think
that name tight end.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. You could say tight end in football, and it's not dirty. you can also say he got really. He was pretty handsy.
Handsy, right?
He was handsy on that play.
Who come up with these names? Tight end.
Look, take a look at. When the quarterback gets sacked, you got to take a look at the penetration.
All right.
It's all about the penetration.
Hey, John Michael, you're my tight end.
Getting that pressure up the middle. That's
pressure up the middle for lots of penetration.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where was the tight end there? You guys are perverts.
Let's get on to the next point, which I think it's obviously it's something you talk about every game, and it affects every game. It's controlling the clock. You know, for me, like, you know, the Broncos, even though they don't talk about their running game, they actually have a pretty decent running game because Peyton Manning sets up the running game with that pass. You know, it's really effective, and they actually do run a lot of clock. Even though they score a lot of points.
If Denver wins tomorrow, they will make.
If they win.
Okay.
You know where I'm talking to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It was like if they make this field goal.
Really?
Seriously.
The line is 2.5, and you're the most confident man in the world.
They're tricking y'all. They're fooling y'all. They're making a 2.5. It's going to be a close game. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's going to be farther than 2.5, dude.
All right. I think we should make a bet.
I think
Not for money, though.
Let's
I bet you that if I win, you have to sit out and wash your dad's car in your boxers
I got.
during the 5 o'clock rush hour. Right here.
Wait, I'm not saying yes yet.
He's gonna think about it. Oh,
I get.
We'll give you a few minutes.
I get
We'll give you a
3
few minutes.
points, right?
We'll give you.
I want 3 points.
Why do you want 3 points?
Because I don't want to wash the damn car in my
Why do you
boxers.
even need 2 points? You're so confident that Seattle is going to win.
Why do you care about the points if you're so confident Denver's gonna win? If you said apparently the score is gonna be 51-0.
It's going to be 54 to 10.
54. They're gonna win by 44 points tomorrow. So I'll take Seattle plus 44 right now. Give me that.
All right, let's get back on topic. All right, so controlling the clock, I think that really favors Denver because Denver, even though Seahawks do have a good run, they have a good running back. I think Denver's just able to control it a bit better. They just have.
You
that.
think Denver's gonna be able to run the ball?
I really do think so.
I don't.
I do think so.
I don't.
I think Seattle doesn't bring 8. I think they don't wanna stack the box. They don't want Peyton Manning throwing over them. They really as good a secondary as they have. You give Peyton Manning 1-on-1 on any of his receivers, he's gonna kill that secondary.
I don't.
Seattle is not gonna stack 8 in the box.
I don't see.
There's no way Seattle does that.
I don't see Denver's running backs be able to run for more than 3 or 4 yards tops. They might have a couple breakthrough plays, but that's going to be what you normally see.
I think Peyton softens up that defense with his passing, and it opens up the running game, and he's been doing that all year.
I think it's going to be.
And he's going to control the clock.
Well, I don't have to ask you your pick anymore.
All right, let's get into the offense defense. We have the number 1 offense in points per game scored during the third season, going against the number 1 defense.
The number 1 defense in the NFC.
In the NFL.
Yes.
In the points allowed.
Points allowed.
Points allowed in the NFL though.
Yeah.
NFC is like
Denver averaged 37.9 points per game, and Seattle only gave up 14.4. Now,
Bring up Seattle's.
Now Denver scoring. They set the record this year. They scored 606 points. No other teams in NFL history scored more than 600 points. I mean, it's a pretty significant offense. The next best team is the Chicago Bears for 445 points right there. I mean, that's they could have stopped scoring.
Yeah. I know.
They
No.
didn't make a playoffs game.
Horrible defense.
Yeah, horrible defense. Yeah, Chicago was the second best
Yeah,
offense.
actually, I learned that around week 12, and I was actually surprised. It was like the Bears.
Yeah,
or number 2
That-
after the Broncos.
That's how much of a difference there was. So that's how good the offense was. You got Denver, who faced the league's 3rd easiest slate of defenses this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember that.
Go
Okay.
on.
Okay, remember that. Remember that. We will get to that point later on. Okay, now let's go to the defense. So you got Seattle, who, like I said, only allowed 14.4 points per game. Now the league average was 23.4, so that's almost 10 points less than the league average. And then this is I told you, remember the other point. Seattle had the 2nd easiest schedule of opposing offense in football. So
Right.
so for everybody who's saying, Seattle had a easy schedule or Denver had an easy, well, they both had.
Everything seems to balance out with the offense and defense.
Yeah. So all those arguments about, people say, oh, Seattle had an easy schedule. Well, so did Denver. It's part of
You
being
know what?
part
you know,
of.
you know, I know you're gonna say it doesn't matter.
But I think
Seattle 13-3, Denver 13-3. I'm just saying.
I mean,
This is the first. Okay, I think all three of us here will agree.
This is a
This is
pretty
the first-
evenly matched
This
Super Bowl.
is the first time where the last four teams should have been the last four teams.
That are actually in there, and it's not
Yes.
a wild card team.
Yeah, it's not a weird
It's
team.
part
It's
of
not.
the-
Yeah, it's not some weird team that didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Now,
And I know you don't. I know a lot of people didn't like New England, but
Yeah.
no, they proved it. They
well,
got the
New
record.
England was a
I'm saying
flawed team.
They lost three of their best players. One
Yeah, I know.
murdered a guy. They
Yeah.
traded another guy.
Yeah, they overachieved though. I do think they overachieved this year.
And the other guy
that was a
We got Aaron Hernandez that is innocent until proven guilty.
they
We got
really
Wes
should-
Welker
they
that's
really should have
on
been,
the Super Bowl team, and
Yeah.
then we got what's his name?
Gronkowski.
Yeah, Gronkowski that tore his ACL.
No, but I do think New England overachieved. Now the defense when the last there's been 4 times in Super Bowls when you had the top scoring offense and the top defense face each other, and the defense is
4
3
out of 5 or
They're-
3 out of 4.
They're 3-1. The defense
3 out of 4.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
So tomorrow they'll be 4 out of 5.
Let's go over some of them.
Hey, do you actually have those?
I have them.
I've been too lazy to look those up.
Let's
Hey,
look.
no, you know what?
Super Bowl
do it.
13, Steelers versus Cowboys.
Okay.
Super Bowl 13, Cowboys were the number one offense. Steelers were number one defense.
What year was that?
That was I'm not sure. I just have 78. Steelers gave up a league best 12.2 points per game, and they ended up
My
winning.
brother-in-law was in his early 30s during that game.
They the Steelers ended up winning 35-31. 35-31.
Bad sack, by the way.
Yes, I was.
But I mean, this is an interesting point to look at. The final score was Steelers 35, Cowboys 31. So even with that great defense,
Right.
Cowboys still scored a lot
Wasn't
of
a blowout.
points. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Next game, go.
Yeah. So
Actually, I want to hear them. I have no idea what they are.
okay,
I heard
so
the stat, but I don't know the games.
okay, so you got
Let's not forget about, you want to talk about defenses? How about the Doomsday defense in the 70s when they actually did face Denver? Denver scored, one touchdown during that whole game? What was it, 77? I'm not sure.
Someone, the Cowboys faced Denver?
yeah, it was in 77. I don't have that score up.
Didn't score nothing during
We have Super Bowl 19, 49ers versus Dolphins. Dolphins had the number one offense. 49ers had the number one defense. And 49ers ended up winning 38-16. This was the Dan Marino's one Super Bowl.
That's the one where
Okay, defense. So that favors Seattle.
That favors Seattle.
Yeah.
All right.
No, what's his name? Ray Finkel couldn't do anything in that game. Ray Finkel could not be effective in that game.
maybe Ace will save the day.
All right. Finkel and Einhorn and Finkel. Finkel and All right. All righty then. What's the next game?
Let me see. Okay. So you have you got Super Bowl 24, 49ers versus Broncos. Yeah, the 49ers number one offense. You got the Broncos number one defense, and you got 49ers winning 55-10.
So this is the first time that the offense won.
Yeah.
And what was the score?
55-10. So this is where the offense actually
Okay.
kept the.
That's what I was curious about. The one time the offense won, was it a
But
blowout?
see-
And it was a blowout.
Yeah, like you start looking at these scores. The defense, it's not like the defense kept the other team from scoring. It's just they score more points.
What years were these that you're talking about?
Well, these are all before like half the Super Bowls.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, 78 was the Steelers, Cowboys, and then you got Super Bowl 19, 49ers, Dolphins. That was in the 80s. That was 84, I think. That was Dan Marino's second year in the league. And then you got the 49ers, Broncos. That's one of the late 80s
Okay.
Elway Super Bowls that he lost.
Years apart were these.
Give me the last.
These are all 80s.
Has the defense ever blown out the offense?
Well, let's keep going. You got Super Bowl 25. This is a year after. Giants versus Bills. You got the Bills number one offense. Giants with number one defense.
Oh,
You
wait,
got
is that the one where they came back?
But you can't even count the Bills in this shit.
Wait, which is the one?
No, really. The Bills lost to everybody and their mother in the Super Bowl. Cowboys twice.
Yeah, they lost 4 in a row.
I mean, they had badass years where they get to the Super Bowl. It's like
I still believe the Bills. Some of those teams are really good. They just lost in Super Bowl. Yeah, they should have won. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they played poorly when it came to those Super Bowls.
Wasn't there a Super Bowl game where the Bills came back and won?
They never won a Super Bowl. They lost
Okay.
all
Okay.
four.
No. Okay. Then there was
Let's,
a regular. It was a playoff game or something where they came back and won.
That was the one. Where
This is the one Scott Norwood misses the field goal.
Houston.
This is the one
Okay.
Scott Norwood misses that field goal at the last second. This Super Bowl.
Laces out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the score? What
It was 2019, like the Heat at the last second.
So the defense has never blown out the offense.
That's why more.
All right, let's. I'm trying to cue up this. This is the famous Scott. It was the Giants Bills the Super Bowl, and they lined up for a how long was this? A 48-yarder. Scott Norwood, the Bills kicker. I just want to play the audio real quick. This is from the game.
Last week it's Barr. This week it's Norwood against them.
So this is just audio from that game. It's Scott Norwood's lining up. He's on the right hash mark, lining up for a game-winning Super Bowl-winning field goal, 48.
Well, thanks for ruining it. No, I'm just. I know. I'm just fucking.
Yeah. This is a Giants game. He's lining up. I mean, it's lined up for him. He's on the right hash mark. That's where you want to be. He's a right hand, and
What do you
it's
think?
wide right. No good. Wide right. That's the famous wide right. So again, like I said, the defense. It's not like this is a lower scoring game, but it's a close game, and none of the. It's not like they've.
I think it's about time all three of us pick the final score.
No. Let's keep. The one time that you had the defense really just ridiculous, and I think this has less to do with the defense, offense, not to do with the circumstances. We have Super Bowl 37, Buccaneers versus Raiders. Raiders had the number one offense. Buccaneers had the number one defense. And this is that ugly blowout, 48-21. But for me, I think that had more to do with John Gruden. It was just a year removed from him being the Raiders head coach.
So the defense kicked the hell out of the offense.
Yeah, and he knew that offense. He built that offense. It's like
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what game you're talking about. Did what's his name? The guy was Callahan coach then?
yeah.
He was, right?
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that.
Bill
but a lot of
Bill
people
Callahan?
believe if you look it up, you can look into
Yeah, he
it,
threw the game.
that,
Yeah.
That Callahan purposely threw the game.
I've heard that before.
That actually came up this year.
And why did people say he did that?
Because he was friends with John Gruden, and
And he
it was
was-
a year removed. They traded John Gruden. They never traded.
I've heard that theory before.
Because even a lot of the players on the team actually said that why are we going over this game plan? Because Gruden knows this game plan. A lot of the members of the Raiders.
Yeah. A lot of them.
With the game plan that were.
What's his name? One of the wide receivers. I forget his name. Tim. What's his name? The number one receiver. I forget his name. He claims that he threw it. He was like.
I think I've seen that. I've seen that in the last couple years actually.
And then you got Super
They
Bowl
still- they
extra
still call it
large Steelers versus Seahawks. Seahawks had number one offense. Steelers had number one defense, and Steelers won
I
21-10.
remember that game. I got a
or-
T-shirt.
Or Seahawks got robbed. Or Seahawks got robbed by the refs.
Well,
That's what everybody says. I don't know.
when it comes to
I've not seen
defense,
that's my.
all I gotta tell
And then
you
the
guys
Packers
is
beat my
otherwise
Steelers.
Is the NFL, if you've noticed through the years, is gearing everything towards the offense.
Well, this is a passing league now. Yeah,
All
obviously.
the penalties because they want higher scoring games.
Well, they all.
And the thing is
Well, the rule. Yeah, the rules are geared towards the offense. Yeah.
because that's what they want.
The QBs are protected. You can't hit the wide receiver, so it's opened up the passing.
Perfectly honest,
Yeah.
it's like what can you expect defenses to do anymore with the rules? You can't grab them from the back, or you're gonna get a 15-yard penalty. If you're launched in the air and you hit the quarterback, it's roughing.
Yeah,
it's roughing
yeah.
the passer.
It's
like,
harder.
what am
It's
I
harder
supposed
for.
to do? When I'm launching in the air, press pause so I don't hit him. I mean, that's a whack ass penalty, you know. So
Yeah, it definitely favors the offense now.
To bring up defenses anymore, it's not fair to the word defense because NFL doesn't give a shit about defense. They really don't want to see defense. They want to see TDs. And
Not STDs, just
And
regular TDs, right?
I'm sure they
DMTDs.
can see plenty of those. But, I mean, especially when you got Pac-Man over there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They want to see points scored.
Yeah, I mean it's when you see the single season passing record get broken like in the last 4 years 2 times. Like I mean that just shows you it's a passing league. It's not a coincidence. But let's get to the fun portion of this Bruno Mars. The next 30 minutes is gonna be about Bruno Mars. The halftime show.
Give it away now. Go ahead.
Give it away.
I mean,
Let's-
how does that shit mix? I'm sorry. Give it away now. Give it away now. And then, what's that other song? I wanna marry you. Oh no, but how does that shit mix? Seriously.
Oh, you're talking about having Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili
No.
Peppers.
I don't know.
How does it mix?
Bruno Mars might have a nipple slip.
10-year anniversary of the nipple slip. It's been 10 years. Do you remember where you were, John, when that happened? When that nipple got exposed to
I was
I remember what happened.
I was at home.
All the babies in the world rejoice.
Let's go over then the fun portion of this podcast. Let's go over the prop bets. For people who don't know what that is, these are basically bets that have nothing to do with the final outcome of the game. But you could bet on different things. Let's go over some of them. I mean, you could do the coin toss, but I mean that's 50-50, so nobody cares about that.
Tails. Put everything on tails.
Minus 102 for tails.
They're charging minus 102.
Yeah, minus 102. Yeah.
Is the coin a trick coin?
No, I mean both head and tails are minus 102. So I mean it's 50-50.
Oh, okay.
I mean it's 50-50.
Like it's minus 130 for heads.
we have will either team score in the first 6 minutes? Even money is on yes, and no is minus 120. What do you think, John? Will either team score in the first 6 minutes?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, the favorite. I mean,
Denver
no,
is
it's
gonna
favorite.
Score.
In the first 6 minutes.
Dude, yes, they're gonna score, dude.
Okay, well either
It's a 50-minute clock.
Denver
So
is
you're
gonna
saying
score
that
like they would with the
50-minute clock. You're saying with 11 minutes left that there will be 0-0.
0-0.
Yes, it'll be 0-0 with 11
No,
minutes
no,
left.
it's favorite. No, it's favorite. It's minus 120 for no. There's even money for yes. We have well either team score in the first 6.5 minutes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's pretty much dead even for that. And then we're either team score in the first 5.5 minutes. Huh. Let's skip a couple of these. Yes, that should.
We're getting a really gray area here.
Let's
keep going.
All right. Which team's gonna score first? Broncos or Seahawks?
Broncos.
I don't know.
Broncos.
This is flipping a coin. I don't know.
This is not flipping a coin.
The
gonna score?
Broncos are favorite.
This is basic.
Broncos are favorite.
Broncos are gonna kick ass.
Okay. First score of the game will be a touchdown or any other score.
It's gonna be a touchdown.
Any other score.
Any other score. Actually, a touchdown's being favored right now.
I'll take any other score.
You have
Okay.
Peyton Manning.
I don't care.
Let's see.
Tom Brady's basic, like, he's gonna be the next Tom Brady.
How many years does he have left to be the next Tom Brady?
Talking about 37-year-old.
In about 10 years, he's going to live up to Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning, you know,
They have
he has
some crazy props right here. They have a team to commit the first penalty. Seahawks are our favorite, obviously. Team with the most penalty yards. Again, Seahawks are favored.
I got one. How about cheerleader to be for the cameraman to zoom on their boobs first? That's a good one. Why don't we make that?
There's too many cheerleaders.
Kathy's favorite. Kathy's favorite.
Debbie's favorite,
Yeah,
according to my book.
Okay. Well, both teams make a 33 or longer yard longer field goal.
Yes.
Yes.
No, it's being favored.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It has to be both teams have to make it though.
Oh, both teams have to make it?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, total sacks over under is 4.5.
I think that's gonna go.
Total sacks by both teams.
It's gonna go over.
4.5.
Peyton Manning like 5 times.
I get no. I say on both sides combined. You're saying?
Yeah, both sides. 4.5. It's 4.5.
I'm gonna go over as well.
Over.
Yeah.
I will go.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think it'll go under.
I would like to go over on that one, Mike. I just would.
Let's see. I'm looking for other ones to see. Will there be a safety? Will there be a safety?
Will there be a safety? No.
Do you
Yeah,
think
no.
Denver would win this Super Bowl if Tim Tebow was playing?
No. No.
Dude, you know what? I don't know.
Let's see. Will there be overtime?
No.
There's never been overtime in a Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah,
That's because they want to go to Disneyland.
never.
Then yes. I've changed it to yes.
It's paying. Hey,
What does it pay?
plus 550.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's worth a little bit of money.
yeah.
I'd
Put $20 down and
goes over 24-24 overtime.
Yeah.
Dude, really, seriously, hanging out of your fucking football helmet. Shit, like you're a predator and shit.
will the team that scores first win the game?
I wouldn't
Yes or no?
How's the guy gonna
No. Yes, I don't know. That should pay even money.
No. Yes pays it's 160 minus 160 and no is plus 130.
I figured it wouldn't, but it should.
Yeah. Let's go to the fun ones.
There's fun ones.
There's fun ones. The fun props. These are the sort of
Which team will have the most fun tomorrow?
everybody
How-
after the game, though,
So
get the strip
we have somebody. I don't know who she is, but she's the one singing the national anthem. Renee Fleming. How many seconds?
Is she hot?
I
don't know. I'll look her up.
I'm
Hold
still
on.
looking at her name.
Can you last with her? Probably 30.
From first, how long will it take her to sing the national anthem?
If you went in with a loaded gun, then you'll probably last about 10, 15 seconds.
How long will it take her to sing the national anthem? From first note starts until she completes saying "brave." Over unders 139.5.
How long?
How many seconds
It's
would it take her?
about 12 inches.
Over under 139.5.
Under.
Under. Okay, we have Peyton Manning. How many times will Peyton Manning say Omaha during the game? Over unders 28.5.
Hey, I wonder if he says that to his wife, right? Like, Omaha!
I'm home.
Omaha!
Omaha.
Right? Omaha. He probably goes, Omaha. Omaha!
Anyway. 28.5.
But the stipulation, he must play for from kickoff to final whistle. So like if he gets hurt, like it doesn't count.
Right.
Yeah.
He says Omaha a whole lot.
You know what?
20.5.
He's Omaha.
I'm gonna go with the assumption that Seattle keeps him off the field, and if I believe in that assumption, I have to say under.
Under 20. Hey, do you think Peyton Manning like pay somebody to make up? Hey, put the over. I'm gonna say Omaha a lot. And he tries. To regular.
It's not worth the risk.
Is this like a rated G show?
We don't rate it anything.
This is being broadcast to the
Most of our-
Nickelodeon radio network.
Most of our viewers are actually brain dead.
Because like, as I'm drinking like almost half your bottle of Bacardi.
That's how we pay people to come on our show.
Yeah, we make sure they're drunk, and that's
All right.
I noticed that why does like a lot of things that like people use have to look like a cock? Because look, your microphone looks like a cock.
My microphone.
Well, John requested that. He specifically requested. He requested for the microphone to look like a penis. That's the only. That's how I'll make John do the show.
That people write on, it's like a cock with balls.
And what are you grabbing with your hands? It's like you're grabbing two cocks.
All right, let's
Unless you don't grab the handles.
No, but you ever notice that? And then
I've never thought about it till right now.
and you sit on it. You notice how the girls are always very happy riding down with the bike, but the guys are always kind of angry. And they're kind of because it looks like a cup. It does look at a bike.
I know what a bike seat looks
Why does
like.
it have to look like a cup?
All right, so
All the great
we're
food.
coming up to the
Hold on,
the end of the
we're gonna wrap it up.
game.
Hold on.
The end of the game of the props. What color will the Gatorade be that's dumped on the head coach of the winning team? Will it be blue, chicken broth, clear or water, hot chocolate, lime green, no Gatorade, liquid bath, orange, red, or yellow?
How about urine?
Chicken broth.
Chicken broth is paying plus 5,000.
Chicken broth.
I would say yellow.
Plus 5,000 for chicken broth.
Let's
I could-
just
it's
say
gonna
I
be
got a
cold.
couple of friends in the chicken broth / NFL industry.
Both chicken broth and both chicken broth and hot chocolate are paying plus 5,000.
Hey, did you just call me hot chocolate?
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, you said I'm
it's fine.
that shit right there. This is a badass thing that y'all do. Oh, hold on. I know, like, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
Hold on, guys. This is the Malarkey show, right?
The Malarkey Hour.
Pretty badass name. But, like, I'm sitting here, I'm a guest and shit, right? They got their little mic set up and stuff. You got Superman over here. He has his little Superman on his mic. And then you got you got the other mic over here with John Michael with his little Batman. So I would say this is Henry Cavill and this is Ben Affleck over here. And it's kind of
I'm a terrible director.
I feel like I'm talking to famous guys right now.
All right, so and then we have the Super Bowl MVP. Who will he thank first? Would it be the coach / owner?
The city of Omaha.
Does not thank anybody or mention anyone on list. Family, fans, God, or teammates.
Right. I don't know, man.
All right, let's
Here's how we're gonna wrap this up. Final scores.
Let's get to the important bet though. And before we do that, let's see. It's already been decided by a couple of areas. Madden every year. The Madden game actually simulates the Super Bowl, and 8 of the last 10 champions have been predicted by Madden. And this year, do you want to guess who Madden picked to win? Denver wins in overtime, 31-28. But all right, but on the other side, we got Eli the ape, an ape in the Utah Zoo who has been picking since he's been there, has picked the last 6 straight years correctly. Guess who he picked to win?
Seattle
Seahawks to win.
How's the bird gonna be?
Now, so now that we have that, we have what you've been waiting
The
for.
Bronco dies slowly of bird flu.
We have what you've been waiting for this whole podcast.
You ever heard of bird flu?
I'll just give him an Alka-Seltzer and he'll blow up.
We have what you've been waiting for all podcasts. So here are picks on who's gonna win. We have Seattle plus 2.5 or Denver minus 2.5. You're gonna get our final.
Is the over under?
The
Or
over under.
we're not. We're gonna skip it.
Oh, we could do over under if we want.
Skip it.
Skip it. So we should do who we think we're gonna win.
All right.
We have Denver favored by 2.5 points. We'll give you who we think is gonna win, if they're gonna cover, and then we'll give our final score.
Let's get our guest Jesse's score
Yeah.
first again. On the record, what did you say?
On the record, forever and ever.
Final score would be 54-10.
54-10. You heard it. Denver's gonna win 54-10 in the blowout.
Okay, 54-10. Don't write that down.
Minus 14. Minus 14.
Are you-
All you bettors out there, minus 14.
Bet all your money on Denver.
Bet it. And
Bet on the over, because obviously it's gonna go over.
Over. What is the over?
Let's
By
see.
the way.
Let's see the over under.
This also came from my brother-in-law who invited me to a Dallas Cowboys playoff party.
All right, John. What do you have?
I think Denver will score less than 30 points tomorrow.
Okay.
I think Denver will score less than 30. But it's also hard for Seattle's offense to score 30.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points for them. But I have a feeling their defense puts them in a position to score 10 off the defense, at least.
Are we talking about Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see at least 2 turnovers in
Defense.
either field goal range or the red zone that result in at least 10 points. I'm going to go with 27-24 Seattle.
27-24.
That's a good pick, but it's not good.
27-24 Seattle.
Okay. That's
What do you got?
That's for me it's around the same. I started last week. I was all Seattle, and I read all the points and everything pointed to Seattle, and I was gung ho. But this week as I started reading and looking into it, I can't bet against Peyton. I'm gonna go against all my instinct, everything that I've read. I should be picking Seattle, but I can't pick against Peyton.
There's no stupid pick in this game.
Yeah, I know. It's so evenly matched, and you know what? I think it's gonna go. Either team loses. They're the top 2 teams in the NFL for me. The only other team I could argue that's maybe better is the 49ers. And
I think this is actually going to be a Super Bowl that comes down to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, and for me, that's the reason the same score as
my
you.
brother-in-law thinks they're going to win by 30.
I think it's gonna be the same score. I think it's gonna be the same score you said, 27-24. But I think Denver wins 27-24.
The only reason I think that Seattle's going to lose so bad is because Seattle hasn't really had a bad game in a really long time. And I always believe that a team should have a bad game a couple of games before the playoffs.
I just think the defense. I read you the scores in the other game. I just think when you have this good of an offense against this good of defense, the defense it doesn't overpower the offense as much as people think, and it's especially in the league the way it is now and the way it's constructed with the offense. The rules sort of favor the offense. I just think I don't think Seattle's going to be able to stop them enough to.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's gonna be 27-24 Denver.
All right. Well, either way, if you're getting a 2.5-point line, all of our picks cover.
Which by the way, it opened with Seattle being favored, but the money was going so much to Denver, and the thing that people don't mention about the line is the line it's basically the line is
by kickoff tomorrow we might see 3.5, 4.
The line is dictated by the public, and you know what? During the Super Bowl, the people who bet most on the Super Bowl are people who haven't, sort of the casual bettors. That's the majority. So these are the people who are dictating this line, and I just think a lot of money. I think a lot of money is going on Denver, and it's going against. I should be picking Seattle. I should be picking Seattle. I took Seattle for the last week and a half. I just can't bet against Peyton. I don't know. There's no struggling.
Same thing I've heard from everybody. They go.
Yeah, I know.
They tell me you're betting against the great Peyton.
Yeah, and I know, and it goes against. If you look at the numbers, Seattle should win this game. Seattle should win this game. You look at all the numbers and.
But you're not picking Seattle.
But I'm not picking. I don't know. I know it's crazy. I should be picking Seattle, but I don't know. Like I just have a feeling
I'm sticking with 27-24 Denver. I'm sorry,
Seattle.
See?
I'm telling you, right? It's weird. It's so weird.
I have my laptop open. I'm looking at Denver's stats. Yeah. That's why.
And you know what? And you're not stupid to pick that.
Who had the worst game?
I think you could switch to. I'm picking the same score you are. I'm picking
last time they even played.
But which team had a bad game? What was their last bad game?
Denver.
And I'll tell you who won.
Denver had a bad game in the playoffs against the Chargers.
He's talking about head-to-head.
Head-to-head, but that was...
I know, but that's different everything.
Yeah, it's different everything.
Guys have never paid attention to this shit.
Yeah, but that's different everything, though.
You guys have never paid attention to this shit. A team that has gone into the playoffs badass, that hasn't, lost.
They have not played each other since 2010. Final score, Denver 31, Seattle 14. I gave you it right now. Yeah. The last time they played each other, 2010.
I'm not talking about them playing each other. I'm talking about schedule-wise. Which one of them in their schedule
had a bad game?
Had a very bad game.
Denver.
Okay, and how long ago did Seattle have a bad game?
It's been a while.
This is what I'm telling you.
Well, you call the last game bad game because it almost came down to one.
Yeah, but they're probably I would say 49ers are one of the better teams.
We're saying a blowout.
Football is also a mental game. And if you go...
I don't know. For me, Seattle...
You tend to have a bad game.
Seattle should win this game. And, your 27-24 score is the same score I'm picking, but I'm just picking Denver. But, if Seattle wins, it's not surprising. And
well, I say
this is one of the closest Super Bowls that I can remember.
I hope it's a good one.
I just have a feeling it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, me and John have the same score, which is have different teams winning. So that's and we didn't. And we didn't discuss this beforehand. So I mean, this is what we both thought of, and that's how close this is gonna be. So I don't know. Hopefully it's a good game, and I have a feeling it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a close game. You know, you have the number one offense because number one defense. It's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't think Denver's gonna totally blow them out. But I can't pick Seattle.
It's hard to bet against the man. I understand.
I don't know.
But I am betting against the man.
And
I think I think we're about done.
I'm about done.
I'd like to wrap it up on a positive note because we're just fighting here. We talked about this before, but this time we have the City of Omaha, the Chamber of Commerce, donating $1,500 per Omaha call for Peyton Manning's charity, which supports disadvantaged kids.
That's good.
It's in Jersey at MetLife.
East Rutherford.
Yeah, Jersey at MetLife. But
beautiful this time of year.
Look out for the Jersey Devil. There's $1,500 for each Omaha call going to disadvantaged kids. So hopefully,
that's good.
Hopefully Denver stays on the field and they still lose the game. And there's a lot of Omaha calls.
There you go. So hopefully it's a good Super Bowl. Hope everybody enjoys it. Eat a lot of food. Watch good commercials.
I'll see you, Ray Finkel.
Hopefully Ray Finkel doesn't mess up again. And we will see you next week.
The Dolphins lose.
The Dolphins lose. And we'll leave you with that note. See you next week. Have a good week.